This is Norwood in South Australia, about a 15-minute drive from the centre of Adelaide, the scene of the opening day of a 6-day race, the Tour Down Under, now in its 11th year, and also the opening of the 2009 international cycling season. The crowds, though, were here in anticipation. They were waiting to see one Lance Armstrong.
You know, it's good to get started. You know, again, you have what I think is going to be fast racing. Even if there's moments where you can chill out and talk to your buddies a little bit, there's still the finish. There's still what we all suspect will be a group sprint. So same things apply. You got to stay out of trouble, stay out of the way, and make it in one piece.
The big man on his comeback here and looking as fit as he did when he won the 2005 Tour de France, the 7th in a row. Roll out 11 kilometres open this 140-kilometre stage, heading for nearby Mawson Lakes. They would see Mawson Lakes, in fact, a few kilometres down the road after the start, but it would be over 3 3/4 hours before they would race up to the finish in earnest. In all, 133 riders, 23 of them Australian, 18 top Pro Tour teams and one international team, or one national team rather, from the University South Australia, who sponsor the national squad. Lance Armstrong perhaps riding with a little bit of feeling in his mind, am I up to this at 37 years of age? The answers will be coming over the next 6 days of racing. Some 3 kilometres into the race, the first attack of the day, Olivier Kazan from the Silence Lotto team at 25 years of age, quickly joined by the Euskaltel-Euskadi rider from northern Spain in Adoni La Fuente, and the two of them getting together and building quite a big lead as the race got underway. They came through Mawson Lakes. This would be the scene of the finish, but they would be approaching the finishing line in the opposite direction. Now it was out into the Adelaide hills and the temperatures soaring, hitting 35 degrees, just on 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The main field were in no hurry to chase down two little-known riders in the Pro Tour peloton. They were out in the action. They were trying to be caught up by other riders who tried to bridge that gap, including Will Walker. It wasn't to be, though, at One Tree Hill. No sprint here. Kaizen was taking the first 3-second time bonus ahead of Adoni La Fuente. The main field at that point, 5.5 minutes behind. The next big challenge of the day would be Gould Creek, a little climb coming at 39 kilometres in. And by the time they started the climb up here, it would be the climber on the duo up front, La Fuente, taking the King of the Mountains points ahead of his breakaway companion Kaizen. The main field were now just over 7 minutes behind. Will Walker was dangling off the front of the main field, but would soon be swept up. And that was the catch there of Will Walker as the riders made their way up the climb of Gould Creek. The gap just over 6.5 minutes. Lance Armstrong. How many times have we seen Lance with his racing jersey unzipped in the Tour de France, with his last one being in 2005, looking very relaxed on the climb. Once onto the next climb of the day at 61 kilometres, Checkered Hill. The two riders up front were seeing the biggest crowd we've seen on this race for many, many years, and the gap was coming down too. It was now just 4.5 minutes. They've had reasonably favourable winds up until now, but soon they will be heading up towards Williamstown and Gawler, and then the wind would change direction. So 2 mountain climbs to La Fuente, which will put him in an early lead in the Skoda King of the Mountains competition by the end of the day. No more official climbs on the route. The peloton themselves, though, are now mixing out the big action here as they raced up towards the finish here. 300 metres to go. It would look like it was going to be a win by Robin McEwen, who broke to the left of our picture. Unseen to our eye, though, he clipped a camera in the crowd and his arm began to swell up rather alarmingly. You see him there looking at it as Andre Greipel gets the win, and with it, the ochre jersey of race leader. Team Columbia High Road had done what they said they would do, and that was take out the first stage. Congratulations all round. Kevin Rudd, the Prime Minister of Australia, in the centre there, and Mike Rann, the Premier of South Australia, presenting the ochre jersey to Andre Greipel, the first leader of the Tour Down Under, and there's only 5 days still to race. So as they smile, the race now is wide open, and the man in the ochre jersey is Andre Greipel.
Yeah.
First of all, what's your first impression of the tour down under? Because I think this is the first time in 11 years I've seen you here.
Absolutely, first time I've been here. I think it's fantastic. Colour, excitement, and Mike here, the Premier of South Australia, has put on a nice mild day, knowing that he had to try and fry a lance to get the local boys a go.
Well, that was my next question. What about the big man being here, staging yet another comeback at the top?
I think it's fantastic. This is history in the making. This guy's got guts, and that's why Australians like him.
Nice boost for the economy as well.
Nothing goes astray in the current climate, so it's good to have some help on this. And events like this, South Australian government done a fantastic job. It actually keeps things pumping along. But you know something? People like enjoying their summers, and this is part of it. Getting out and about with a fantastic competition.
Perfect, thanks a lot.
Good evening, mate.
Yes, Kevin Rudd there, the Prime Minister of Australia, having a nice time with Lance Armstrong, welcoming him home to the finish of the first stage in Mawson Lakes. And so the little chit-chat continuing. I have to say that Lance Armstrong looked pretty good after a long ride of 3 3/4 hours. Mike Rann, the Premier of South Australia, on the right there, and still managing to pose a picture despite the effort. Let's have a look now at the winner of this race, which was Greipel.
Andre, in the Cancer Classic, you guys you tried the lead out, but I think today it was perfect.
Yeah, it was awesome. Before, when we passed the finish, I said we have to wait a long time before we take the lead. And yeah, the guys, yeah, they heard. I said in the radio, now we take the lead, and they did it.
Now you have one of the best teams in the world for lead-outs, and I think you've got an awful lot of practice in the Giro d'Italia, the Tour de France, and the Tour of Spain, and this is really paying off for you.
Yeah, we always can try to lead out, and I think in the Cancer Classics, everything was fine. Yeah, okay, it was bad luck for me. Yeah, but today I think we were the strongest team.
But today, for the first stage, you get yourself the yellow jersey, and now you're going to have to defend that for a few days.
Oh, I think tomorrow is a hard stage, and yeah, I think now I think 10 seconds lead or 10 seconds penalty, and yeah, we will see what's going on tomorrow. I hope it's not so hot.
Good luck.